Good afternoon, class. You're welcome to this geography class. My name is Kola Walegiwa, and today we'll be discussing about climate. Our learning objectives for this class will be, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning of climate. Then you should also be able to describe the factors affecting the climate of an area. Then you should also be able to state the importance of climate to man. Now let's go on to the topic, climate. How do you define climate? Climate is a long-term weather pattern in a region, typically averaged over 30 years. Remember in the last class we talked about weather. Weather being the condition of the atmosphere over a short period of time. How it could be hourly or daily. Now, climate is a long-term weather pattern in a region, typically average over 30 years. Now, climate also studies is also concerned with the condition of the atmosphere, but it's for a longer time than the weather. Okay, so now let's look at the factors. Let's look at the factors affecting the climate of an area. You have latitude, altitude, proximity to water bodies, ocean currents, wind and air circulation, and then human activity. Okay, so the first one, latitude. Places closer to the equator are usually warmer, and places nearer to the North Pole and South Pole are colder. If you look at the picture, the illustration is there, you see that sunlight strikes most directly within the tropics where you find Africa. You know, within longitude, so 30 degrees north of the equator and 30 degrees south of the equator. Around these places, the sun strikes directly most than in other parts of the world. So there is concentrated heat and you have higher temperatures in those places than compared to what you have at the poles, where the angle of the heat from the sun spreads over larger areas, and so those places have lower temperatures. So that's a major factor. Also, altitude, elevation. You know, as altitude increases, as you go higher, the air becomes thinner, meaning it can hold less heat. So that means the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. So on average, temperature decreases by 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1,000 meters you go up. So at the foot of a mountain, the temperature will be higher than what you have at the top of that mountain. Okay, that's how altitude, climate. And then proximity to water bodies. Water heats and cools more slowly than land. So the land, the land areas they tend to be have more heat than what you have on in water where you have water bodies. So water has a cooling effect. So places close to water bodies tend to have lower temperatures than places further away. Okay. We also have ocean currents. An ocean current is a continuous or directed movement of seawater generated by a number of forces, wind acting on them. So currents move from the equator towards the poles usually have call them warm currents because they have higher temperatures and tend to warm the areas they flow to. Okay, why currents that move from the poles towards the equator have you know, lower temperature. They have a cooling effect on places they flow to. Okay, and that affects another climate of an area is wind and air circulation. As winds blow from here, from warm areas, as winds are blow from warm areas, they carry higher temperatures, while winds from cold areas carry lower temperatures, and they have can raise the temperature or lower the temperature of places they flow to, respectively. And then we also have human activities. Human activities through emission of carbon dioxide tends to have a greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is principally the principal gas we have in our greenhouse effect is carbon dioxide, which is emitted into the atmosphere through human activities, transport, you know, industrial activities. So this tends to trap heat in our atmosphere and tends to release higher temperatures on the surface of the earth. Of course, deforestation, taking away, clearing green areas, vegetation, which would have, mop up the carbon dioxide that we have in our atmosphere. This, tends to have effect and, increase temperatures, when this vegetation is taken. And then importance of climate. Importance of climate. Wow, climate is very important to us in many areas. If you look at the effects, when I was talking about the effects of human activities, when there's this, recently there's so much talk about climate change. So, climate of areas, weather, rain patterns and all that seems to be affected, by changes in weather pattern or climate, and this will affect growing seasons and of course agriculture. It has effect on human health too. If the release of chlorofluorocarbons which deplete the ozone layer, tends to have, and even the greenhouse effect. Releasing, we're having more heat, temperatures are becoming higher. It affects our health. And then you also have water resources. Water bodies drying up because of higher temperatures and all that. And of course, the ecosystem is affected. Biodiversity, all we have in our ecosystem, being affected by changes in climate, and it affects the producers, the composer, the producers, the consumers, and the decomposers. And then, as okay, so briefly, let me just have a recap of what you had in this class. You've had, you should be, I want to believe you can explain the meaning of climate now, and also describe the factors that affect the climate of a place. And also state the importance of climate. You know. And I really want to give you these assignments. So from this class, I want to believe you can. I want you to differentiate, distinguish between weather and climate. Also tell me what climate change is all about, and what are the causes? What are the causes of climate change? It's something big that is a big issue that keeps going on and on. And world leaders have been trying to find the solution to the issue of climate change because it affects everyone. So I want you to do some work on this and tell me your answers in the next class. So thank you for listening. You enjoy the rest of the day.